Hey guys, what's up? Hungry Panda here, and I'm back with another build for today. So this one I'll show you how I've made 50 million highest hit damage on the Untainted 187 expedition, and also using the trial belt. But I've also made a video where I was able to finish the Untainted 187 expedition without using the trial belt and was able to do 4 million something highest hit damage and 8 minutes clear time. And for my the trial belt Untainted run, I've finished it in about 5 minutes. So first off, let's talk about the stats. So for the stats, I had 1-1 ferocity and toughness, and the toughness is a bit higher due to my equipments. And then for the skill, we don't really rely now on bleeding edge, but we still use it because since it has a 7.6 cooldown, it's usually at 10 seconds, but since I have cooldown reduction items, so it's down to about 7.6 cooldown. So we still use it to apply more ailment stacks or ailments on the enemy, as well as some DPS, but what we're mostly using for the damage is this guy here, Bladestorm. So this guy acts as the same as Bleeding Edge, but not that high compared to Bleeding Edge before, since it says here it only increases damage per each ailment an enemy has, not ailment stack. So there's a difference between an ailment only and an ailment stack. But still, it's doing a decent amount of damage. And we still have that bleeding edge where it deals damage per ailment stack. But I mean, not that fast compared to before, but it's still doable. Also, we're doing a bit of like a melee mage build because on the mage skills, it has a lot of skills that applies ailments to enemies. That's why we're using a catalyst and a dagger. Okay, now an anomaly. This one pulls in the enemies at a center. So this skill pulls the enemy at where you point your cursor. So like that, and you can use it twice. So it's a very good stasis ailment. We also have from our Gate of Fates where we can apply 2 ailments, so it also has a burn. So this skill is very useful because it pulls in the enemy together. That way we can bombard them with our other skills, which I used, and it's the tier of Etheliel. So I've converted it into burn so that we can apply more burn. Oh, I can actually use frost with this one. Oh yeah, I can actually use frost so that I can have like 7 ailments. But I mean, depending on the ailments that shows up here, you just try to balance it out. That way you'll have 6 to 7 added stacks damage from your ailments. So you just have to like count every elements that you have. So earlier I had this one converted it into fire, and if you can see, I have like burn, stasis, that's 2, burn, curse, okay, that's 3, poison, bleed, that's 5, weakness, that's 6, burn, poison, okay, it repeats. Now if I unclick this one, I'll have freeze, so if you count that again, so from my anomaly I have burn, stasis, that's 2, freeze, burn is already taken, so that's 3, poison, bleed, that's 5, weakness, that's 6, and then the curse, well, we'll get the curse ailment from the trial belt, which again inflicts a mark of impurity. Now for my other skills in the mage skill tree, I have here the plague burst. It's also very nice because it applies poison, and when a monster dies, they leave a poisonous cloud where it also deals damage. So it applies more stacks, element stacks on that enemy, so which is very good. Also for our solar fall, so we have this points taken here. That way we can deal more ailments. So our combo would be like this. So it's anomaly, tears, bleeding edge, solar flare, poison, and then just Bladestorm. Now, The reason why I had that skill set up because we want to have our rage still above 750. That way we can deal more damage from our bleeding edge and our blade storm due to the Gate of Fates node here, which says that it doubles our damage if our rage is over 750. So any skills that we use will have double damage if you use that skill if we have over 750 rage. So that's why we do it like this, and then like that, and then Blade Storm, and then Star Flare, and then boom. And now for our Gate of Fates, we have the usual basic nodes right now. We don't really have a lot of builds that we can do that we can deal a lot of damage. I'm planning on using a pistol catalyst build since Gunslinger Brand has also a very good point here, which increases critical chance and damage for each ailment stack an enemy has. So it's basically a long range bleeding edge. So I'll try that one and post that one soon. For now, let's focus on this one. So again, our Gate of Fates. So we focus on the soldier for that crit, and then we branch out to the Kabbalist to get that maximum ailment, and then for applying 2 ailment stacks for each hit, and also this one, the Mortal Offering, where killing an enemy grants 5% for each stack for a maximum of 5 stacks per ailment. So it's a very good damage booster. And also this one, so that we can 100% inflict 2 ailments per hit on an enemy. And then this one, so that we can have 2 ailments per hit. And this one, we want to convert our willpower regeneration to rage instead. And this one again to double our damage. For Time Weaver, we have this because as long as the enemy has stasis, which they will always have since our first skill to use is the anomaly, so any damage that they've taken, they will receive that same damage 100% after 1.5 seconds. And if we add this node here, it increases to 120 damage. And this one here, so that we won't die that easily. We also want to take this because there's a lot of mobs at higher levels, since you'll always be nerfed by the enemies due to our Blade Storm and our Bleeding Edge. So we want to have this one, and of course this one, so that we'll have 35 rage every time we kill an enemy. And this one, since they will always be in stasis and frozen, this is a good additional damage for the enemy. And this one here, so we want to have a lot of rage points. And on here on the Scholar, we want to have the 63% ailment chance score. That way we'll have more chances to inflict ailments on the enemy. And on here, we want to have more crit by sacrificing damage. That's okay. And on the Praetorian, we want to have the additional block chance. That way we can block even without a shield and getting all the resistance score. And also this one here, we want to also get this one. That way we will be spawning a lot of health globes. That way we will be getting a lot of health globes every time an enemy is hit, because it's very important for our anomaly. Because again, our anomaly, this one here, globes are health globes that are pulled into the damaging vortex explode. This one here is very important, and you want to wear heavy chest equipment as well as heavy helmet equipment. That way you'll have resistance multiplied by 1 on the resistance score that you have. So it's basically doubling up the resistance that you have on your heavy and on your helmet. Now for the equipments, I have here a dagger. So I got a dagger because it's more versatile. I can use the Avenger turret, which I did previously while I was experimenting, and also Mark of Impurity if you don't have the trial belt. Now for my equipment, I have here a ring which has 1 ailment stack, and this ring here which gives me 2 ailment stacks, as well as an amulet that gives me 2 ailment stacks as well. And for my chest, of course, we want to have the heavy, as well as for our helmet. So we want resistance and toughness for resistance and health. And we want to get transfer time. That way there won't be a lot of delays in transferring willpower and rage. Since we are using both willpower and rage, it's gonna be not that smooth of a gameplay if we don't have this one, and which I will show you. For example, if we take off the transfer time, let's take off this catalyst. Oh, wait. This one here. So as you can see, there's a lot of gray bars here, which is not that good. We're gonna spam a lot of skills. See, that's why we want to have transfer time decrease between willpower and rage. I also got this one, which is very nice because it has the transfer time decrease as well as the cooldown for my skills. And this one, again, you wanna stack on those toughness. This one I got a passive dodge chance though, because I want to block at the same time dodge the attacks. Same here. The third priority is rage and willpower cost decrease if you don't have the transfer time and the cooldown. So same here, I have the rage and willpower cost decrease as well as resistance. This one, I'm gonna change this one. I mean, it doesn't really have any nice stats to it. I mean, it has material and toughness, but not that good. And for our boots, I have the dodge and the movement. This one, I just didn't really care about the other stats. I just want the movement speed. That way I can run faster on my expedition. And for our catalyst, I got 36 to 50 shadow damage added to spells. Because again, since we're using mage skills, we want to have added damage to spells, and as well as 74% spell damage, and transfer time, and crit damage, and crit chance. And then for the gym slots, I have here the transfer time decrease, and then I also added more resistance, and I added a spell critical chance. So as you can see, my spell critical chance is much higher than my attack. That's about it. Now I'll show you a clip on me using the trial belt, which dealt the highest damage of about 50 million plus, and as well as not using the trial belt, which dealt about 4 million plus without using the Mark of Impurity skill. But if I had used the Mark of Impurity skill on that recorded gameplay, then I would have about 10 million something, but you just have to manually apply the Mark of Impurity. But again, it's still a very, very doable build, even without relying that much on Bleeding Edge and on the Mark of Impurity from the trial belt. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy and you subscribe. Thank you.
Brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, 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 ride or die. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die. Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night, race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly. We'll fly away, away, away. Yeah, we'll fly. I will fly. Up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories, lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll fly.